Ever since I've been here, Ottawa's been good to me, and they're the ones who gave me a chance. So I feel like if they believe in me, then I should do everything I can for them to be able to trust me to make those plays. You know, I mean, they're paying me whatever it is to make plays. I got to go out and make them. So I don't want to let anyone down. I don't want to let Berkey down. I don't want to let Josh, the camera guy, down. I don't want to let, Billy and Susie up in the stands down. I don't want to let anyone who wears the Ottawa R down. And so that's just kind of how I've always been. Whatever team I'm playing for, I don't want to let anyone down.
Hey everybody, welcome to Locked In with Brent and Brad, the new Redblacks podcast presented by Vodkow. And Brad being the receiver, we thought our first guest must be a receiver. Welcome to the show, Jaelon Acklin. Jaylen, welcome to the show. I know you're pretty excited to be our first guest.
I am hugely excited to be with Brad.
It's okay. This is a very informal podcast.
Yeah, I got the gist of that whenever I walked in.
Well, this is why I'm sitting like this. Because if I'm sitting like this, I feel it's too formal. So I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit.
I know. I was sitting.
And you're the same.
I couldn't figure out how to sit, but this is probably the most comfortable right here.
Yeah, you got the whole couch.
It's a little big.
You're in shorts and a ball cap. Are you worried about being formal?
This is I'm dressed up today. Actually, I can't believe I just called you Wally, by the way. That's weird that I called you by your nickname. I was thinking too, does he have a nickname? Do you have a nickname? Do people call you the Ack Man?
No. Normally people just call me Ack. But yesterday, I didn't want anyone calling me Jaylen. I wanted everyone calling me Performer of the Month.
Oh,
so that's what I was. I was going around
flexing. Yeah.
I was not answering to Jaylen.
Yeah.
So those who don't know, Jaylen was named one of the CFL Performers of the Month, who leads the league in receiving yards. So it's gone pretty well for you, then, I'm going to say, in the last little while here.
Yeah, it hasn't gone too bad. 4
100-yard gains.
It's 4?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Ooh, yeah.
Brad, what's your most in this season?
No idea, but I wasn't a 100-yard game guy.
Oh, you're just a catch.
So you're more of a explosive receiver.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you do it all.
I never got to see you play.
Really? We didn't play against each other.
No, I played you in 2019.
Yeah, but that was a tough.
But Ottawa had shifting quarterbacks.
Yeah,
so whenever we played against you,
we had a tough year. That's a shame. That's.
But I remember 2018, I watched your East Final game.
Oh, okay. And
I remember I think Ellingson was on the team. Yeah. And you guys are pretty nasty.
We were good. We had a good run there. That's
you had
funny
100 or so catches, didn't you?
What's that?
100 something?
I don't know. You're the stat guy.
All I know is you're the last Canadian with 1,000 receiving yards in a season.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think I want to say either 114 or 116. I actually can't remember.
That's pretty nice.
But you're on the way though. That's you're.
He was drafted as a quarterback.
Nah.
I could have been throwing you the ball in the CFL. Who knows? It's crazy.
I played quarterback in high school.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, that's why I think that plays a part as a receiver.
No, it
right?
does.
Because you're really you're explosive, you're fast, you got the generic athletic abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But the smarts and the feel, I think, comes from playing quarterback.
Yeah, because I bet where the zones are going to be before. You kind of got a feel for it.
Yeah, you do. And when you're throwing the ball, you know where someone you want them to be.
Yeah.
Right? So as a receiver, at least you kind of understand that.
Yeah.
At least that's what I tell myself. I don't know.
You had 2 100-yard games in your first 31 games or something. For both of you, does 100 yards, does it matter? Is it a stat that you guys look at?
Nah, I'm not really me. I mean, I would say more what did I do to help the team, as cheesy as that sounds, but not so much because my thing at Hamilton was I blocked a lot. I was one of the wide receivers who knew the protection. So if I got the quarterback to not get sacked and then one of my teammates had a 70-yard touchdown or something, I'd be okay. Well, I mean, the fans don't know that, but the coaches do and my teammates do.
So what's a good game for you?
A good solid game would be a clutch first down to seal the game. Maybe a big time block. Yeah, it doesn't really have to be a touchdown or nothing. As long as the coaches can count on you to make a play at the end of the game and you make that play, that would be a solid game.
So how many receivers care about blocking?
Whew.
Is that what separates the really good players from just a really good receiver, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I would say so. Because, I mean, it's just all about consistency. Really, a receiver is like, one day you're going to make plays and one day, you might not. But if you can do like everything else, like say I'm a really good blocker, if I do drop a pass, I can make an impact by blocking the next play. Because that's just effort, blocking is. It's whereas like route running and all that stuff's a skill. It's whereas you have a guy like, say he's just good at blocking, not really good at like running routes and stuff, like that's all he can do. So just kind of like the more you can do at receiver will make you better.
Yeah, I was going to say too, because like you said, consistency, and that's the part I think receivers, everyone gets caught up on like the big play, right? Obviously a touchdown, stuff like that, but it's, over 18 games. And then if you want to think beyond that, consistency through a career, it's like, it ends up being all the little stuff, right? It's funny. I mean, you do a really good job of doing that stuff. And was there anyone that you looked up to as a veteran that kind of you saw that stuff in, or was that kind of just yourself realizing? Because sometimes you realize as a guy, trying to make the team, it's you look at little things that guys do and realize that, hey, you have to do this and you incorporate in your game. But then other times it's you have guys around you that kind of set the tone, right?
Yeah. As far as veterans, the one I looked up to the most was probably Tasker whenever I was in Hamilton.
Good guy to look up to.
Yeah. He was a real solid player, and he kind of took me under his wing and like take me to practice and stuff whenever I didn't have a car in Canada. So I'd shoot the shit with him sometimes. He's a good guy, but I noticed about him is like he wouldn't necessarily create like a lot of separation, but he would always be blocking. And he said he would always tell me like blocking and stuff like gets you into the game. Yeah. Like sometimes there's going to be a game where you don't get targeted till the fourth quarter, but if you're blocking and like making an effort every single play, you're going to be a part of a play, and then that's going to be okay, it's a positive, and then you can just kind of roll from there. So it kind of builds confidence is what I feel like if you're putting effort every play.
It's like taking that first big hit.
Yeah. You take that first big hit, or like there's nothing better than like at the beginning of the game like making a huge play, and then you're like, well, shit, like, it's only up from here, you know what I mean? Like, you already got your feet wet, so then you just keep going.
So have you ever gone back into the huddle and go, because you talk about not being targeted till the fourth, and go, is someone going to throw me the ball? Like, enough already? Yeah, no, I don't go in the huddle. I'll go, like I told Masoli before, like, bro, you just got to throw me a slant or something. Like,
wow, bold, yeah, I like it.
But I'm kind of more outspoken than some people. No, I like to think I'm still a good teammate. I don't try to be selfish, but I do know, like at some points, if the offense is stagnant, that I just want them to know they can lean on me. Like I'll try to make a play.
Yeah, but that's also like as from the fans and media side, like standpoint. Sometimes you ask that question, or we see a clip, and we think, oh, there's a little bit of tension, or he's this and that. Right. People need to realize the relationship of players, how much time you spend with each other, is like those are your best buds, right? So saying that in a game is no different than just having conversations, like you would any other time. I mean, you spend so much time together.
Well, the adrenaline is high.
Right, the adrenaline, right? But also that's what you want to make plays for each other. So all the things that are said back and forth, like that's very natural to say that. So anyways, I just say sometimes it gets blown up and
for sure,
tension or whatever, but it's just that's naturally as a competitor, right? Like
and you'd rather say it there than you be in the locker room after the game or like watching film the day after and be like, well, I should have just told them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'd rather just say it there. And sometimes I get a little out of control. It's like I think it was this last game that we won against Toronto. I had a like post route, and Will, our quarterback coach, came up to me. He's like, "You should have just went inside that guy." And I was like, damn it, Will, you told me during practice to go inside of him. So that's why I went inside. Like, if you want me to go outside, tell me in practice the next day. And then Caleb was like, Jaylen, you got to chill. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. But, like, I just wanted to make the play then for us. But yeah, it's nothing. I'm so cool with everyone. Like, they're my boys. I just like getting in that zone sometimes.
But that's, like, there are certain players, and it's elite players I've always noticed that, they get labeled like cocky, but it's not, you're just confident. Like you talk about, I'm not selfish, and I don't think you are, but I believe you to be very confident, which some people can misconstrue as cocky. Like, does it get you in trouble?
Yeah, it does. I can be a little, bipolar at times as far as like my attitude. But yeah, I think some people get it mixed up. I'm just trying to win, and I want to do whatever it takes to win. And I want to win not for myself, but for Ottawa, because I want Ottawa to be able to look at me and be like, I can trust that guy. I want to be the guy that the fans can look at and be like, I can trust that guy to make that play. Because whenever we do, God willing, make the Grey Cup at some point, I want to win it here, and I want the fans in the city to know that I'm doing everything I can to win. And so every play, every rep, even in practice and stuff, like I'm still gonna get in a fight with teammates, but I still love them. Like I'm just out there. That's just how I was raised. I'm just a fighter, and I like stuff like that. I like getting in. I like the heat and the physicality of football.
I remember a couple days in training camp that you were, you got into it a little bit with the DBs.
Yeah. I got a smart mouth too, which I get in trouble mostly with it with my mom. It's like my mom will text me after the game, is like, quit talking to people, like shut up, Jaylen, which is fine. But like a lot of people back home don't really like me because I was always like that.
So are you in games? Are you chatty towards
the other players?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk to them, but only if they talk to me first. Usually, I'll be pretty chill.
Yeah, you don't initiate.
Yeah, I don't initiate nothing. But if they're gonna be like jerks to me or something, or like start talking, like I really don't care, because I'll probably catch a touchdown on them later, so I don't really care.
See, it's interesting. You talk about confidence. Like I think everyone thinks that. Some people just say it out loud, or they don't.
Yeah, dude. I wish I wasn't like that, because I'm really
it's
impulsive.
not a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's different if you have 0 yards or you've got one.
Yeah, if you're just talking,
you're leading the league.
Hey, even when you have 0, that's maybe the most important time to keep saying that.
No, yeah, I guess you're right.
Because sometimes it's to crawl out of that hole. It's like you have to. The moment you stop believing,
I think to be elite, you've got to be. You have to have a swagger. You walk with a swagger.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right? You took number 23 from Michael Jordan. Like there's a swagger about you.
Yeah. Ever since I was little, I was like that. My mom and dad didn't like it, but I was always kind of rebellious. So
you were a problem child?
I wouldn't say, but I never smoked or drank or anything. Well, I mean, I drink now, but I've never smoked weed. I've never done anything like that. So I wouldn't say I'm a problem child. Never got in trouble with the law. But as far as listening to people, I don't listen to people.
I get that.
I don't do good with people controlling me. It's sometimes Lapo will be talking to me in meetings, and I'll just talk back. I'll be like, and then Lapo's what'd you just say? I'm like, sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. I was just, but that's just how I've always been.
So did you listen to Jeremiah Masoli when you signed here? Is that someone you listened to? Did he play a part in you becoming an Ottawa Redblack, or is it just you?
No, I told him I was gonna come here before Jeremiah. I called Jeremiah as soon as I said that I was gonna come to Ottawa, and I was like, look, I'm gonna be here. If you want to throw to me still, I'll be in Ottawa. I was like,
still, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, he was jumping.
Yeah, so then he was, Jeremiah, whenever you call him or tell him good news, I never know if he's happy or not, because he's always the same Jeremiah.
Yes.
He's like, man, that's good for you, bro. That's good. He's like, because I think that he was talking to Lapo back and forth, and he was kind of weighing his options.
Right.
But then, once he came to Ottawa, he made sure and texted me and called me, and then I could tell he's excited.
See, I've had conversations with Masoli, and I'm never sure. I walked away. I'm not sure if he likes me or not, because he's just the same level no matter what.
He's the same no matter what.
He's not monotone. He's just level.
So is he that during the game?
Yeah.
Does he ever? What's the excitement? If he just scored, if he just threw to you for a 100-yard touchdown, how excited would he be? Can you give me the Jeremiah Masoli excitement level? Okay,
so on the field, he would be excited for 1 to 2 seconds. He would come to the sideline. He'd get on the iPad. He'd be like, good route, Ack. And then he'd go back. Yeah, I was like, can I watch the touchdown? He's like, hold on. He's watching the other plays, seeing what he can do better. It's he's excited, but he's always until we win the game, he doesn't really give a shit. So that's what I like about him. It's because if we're doing good, it doesn't really matter unless we win the game. So we got to do things later, and he understands that. So that's what I like about Jeremiah. He keeps everyone level-minded.
So why Ottawa? What made you decide?
To be honest, whenever I came here for preseason in 2019, I don't think Brad played that game. You sat out, but that was my first game in the CFL. And then like the whole Lansdowne area was cool, and then the Beaver Tail. So I would say that Beaver Tail is what really like got me. Really? Our coaches bought us Beaver Tail. I remember that.
Beaver Tails.
It was just the original ones too.
Right. Yeah.
Those are fire.
So the Hamilton Tiger Cats coaching staff led to you coming to Ottawa.
Yeah, it bit them. It bit them in the end.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's funny you talk about Beaver Tails, because I remember before Trevor Harris came to Ottawa, I sent him a message before I actually met him. I was like, hey man, when you get here, we'll have to go out and get a beaver tail, blah, 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 and he sent me back like, oh, I'm married, man, And I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, so we can't go out and get beaver tails together, And then later on, I was like, okay.
He thought you were talking about girls.
Something different, but anyways, and then we eventually got a beaver tail, but I thought.
That's funny. That's actually pretty funny.
You brought up your mom. So how tight are you with your mom, and how much does she influence on how you behave?
If she influenced how I behave, I'd be a lot better at acting, probably. But yeah, I'm tight with my mom. I've always had a close relationship with her. She's tough. She raised 5 boys. I got 4 little brothers, and so I was
a saint.
Yeah, and I guess I wasn't the best one. I'd say the one under me was Jansen. Well, I was probably the worst one, honestly.
Yeah, you're like, upon further review, add up all the.
But yeah, she's still the first one I call after my games and texts and stuff. So she always keeps me level-headed. Even after like our last one, I was like, "See, Mom, they couldn't guard me," and she was like, "Jaylen, shut up." But no, she's good. She's good.
You have your mom's name's Tina. You said that she enjoys watching it way more than you do, if I'm reading it correctly.
Yes, yeah. She likes whenever I catch touchdowns. She like screams at the TV. I wish someone would get her reaction sometime, because whenever she comes to the game, she gets so nervous. She goes to the bathroom all the time whenever we have the ball, because she doesn't want to see me or like us not do good.
So interesting.
She'll just sit in the bathroom. Like if it gets to like the end of the game and like we're driving down to score. She missed one of my best plays in college. I scored a game winner as time expired at like a sold out spot, and she was in the bathroom because she couldn't watch. And I was like, Mom. Like,
so do you know, like because it's funny you say that. My dad was similar. From when in high school, I would always know where he was. And then I would always, you peek over when you're a kid just to make sure your parents are watching. And then he would be somewhere else, like he's just pacing in the corner back and forth, right? And I'm just wondering, like, so did you ever notice that she was not where she was? Even when I was playing here, like I knew where my parents sat, and I would look up and be like, oh, there's a seat empty. My dad must be walking the concourse in the end zone, whatever.
Yeah. I try to find them before the games, but I'm kind of new to Ottawa, and they've only went to one game. I still don't know where family sits.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Brad will help you.
So yeah, I was like looking around, but I couldn't find them. And like once it kicks off, you're just like, okay,
everything's a blur.
Everything's a blur after that, so I wasn't really paying attention. But I do normally try to find her, yes.
I want to ask you how you feel mentally before the game. Like, do you listen to stuff that gets you pumped up in the locker room? Is it when you get out on the field, when, like sometimes for guys, it's after the national anthem. I know a ton of guys in the tunnel get all juiced up and all, I always found myself like, I'd get jacked up in the locker room, but then it was like such a long time between then and the start of the game that I learned to like put myself in a different spot mentally until really the ball was kicked off.
Yeah.
So like mentally, where are you leading up to kickoff?
Okay, this is a very good question, because like right now I'm at the point where it's like I get hyped up right before kickoff. With Josh has seen that, like if they play music in there, like I get hyped up. Right. But I kind of have employed this tactic, like whenever we go out and like catch over the shoulders and stuff, like I'll find a dude and I can tell by his body language that like he's nervous and I will attack him. Like I will just stare at him. And then until he says something, and then once he says something, it's like free game.
You're just waiting.
And then it's usually a guy that I got to go up against too. So I try to, but like I'm not doing nothing physical.
Yeah,
like,
it's a mental game.
Yeah, I'm just out there. Like whenever we played Hamilton, I was attacking number 22. But like, I don't know him like that. I think he's an okay player, but I'm gonna tell him that you can't guard me. And then if he can, he can. I've got my ass beat before. I'm not afraid of it.
Part of it.
So you just got to go out there and not really care, you know?
I think sometimes the water boy mentality too of you make things up. I used to do this. I used to look across,
I do that.
and I used to pretend like, hey, this guy said,
like this guy's talking crap about me in meetings.
Yeah, exactly. So then I would get really angry at this guy, mentally and internally, that throughout the game I would always like just take a peek. If I had a lot of yards after catch or just a big play, I always look around like, where is he?
I do the same thing.
He has no idea, but it just mentally you
you just gotta stir him up sometimes, you know.
Yeah, you gotta play that game.
I'm the same way. I've never heard the water boy mentality. That's a good one. You just make
because
up in
he's
your head.
and then he just gets really jacked up. We're on the other side of the ball, so we're not sprinting across the line and jacking people up.
Too.
It's.
Has anybody ever rattled you?
Anybody
DB?
ever rattled me?
Yeah.
Like actually rattled me?
Like all of a sudden
That's a
you're
good
like,
question.
you're like, oh my God, like maybe he's right.
No, because that's something like whether you're going to admit it or not, it's very if someone has, it's still hard to.
Yeah, I mean, I've been got before. Like I was talking Illinois to Toronto one time whenever I was in Hamilton, and this guy knocked me out, and I was actually mic'd up on TSN. Don't know how this happens. TSN sends, okay, so whenever you go into concussion protocol, you know, whatever, you're on the sideline. Well, I just like started crying, and I'm super emotional as it is. Yeah. And they took me out of the game, and I was like having a meltdown because that was the only game I've ever been taken out of in my life. Yeah. Because I usually like to tough stuff out. But, so TSN had me mic'd up this whole time. They give that player my TSN mic'd up, and he posts it. And I was like,
that's weird. Yeah.
Isn't that like such a weirdo thing to do? And I was like, how soft you got to be? Well, whatever. So I got called like everything. I got called a chump, blah, 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 like crybaby. I still get called it to this day by other teammates or other teams. Like, it doesn't bother me. Especially when I'm like dropping a hundo on them all the time. So like, it doesn't really bother me all that much.
Do you cry at movies?
Cry at movies?
Ooh.
You know, I tear up a little bit, but like I do not like watching like sad movies because I know that I will, and I definitely can't watch them like random girls or anything. So I'm gonna be this guy.
No, yeah, you can't.
This guy sucks.
First impression.
You know? You want to watch like a scary movie?
Yeah. I only watch scary movies. It's got to be like 7 a.m. Other than that, I'm not. Once the sun goes down, like I'm not interested in going to sleep with that stuff on your mind.
Yeah. No.
Same with sad movies. It's like it's hard to be happy. Like
I know.
What's the last movie you teared up at?
What's the last movie I teared up at?
It's got to be that.
That's a good question.
Love stories. See, I cried when I watched Rudy.
Rudy?
Yeah. You ever seen Rudy?
No, I haven't.
What?
I guys, whenever I tell you I don't watch movies, just so I get emotionally invested in stuff like bad. I think
you would probably cry if you watched Rudy.
I probably would.
Underdog story.
I probably would.
You know which one of the greatest football movies of all time?
To me, it's the gold.
Like,
I don't know.
If you ask me any movie, like the only thing I can really watch is like Chris Farley movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
No joke.
Yeah. There's no emotional stuff other than pure laughter.
Like, just pure laughter is like that's what I can go for. But like I don't know. I've just always been. And I kind of hide it from people. Like, not even my little brothers really know, but like I'll be like watching something and I'll like make sure like they're not looking at me, and I'll be like tearing up. But I haven't watched a sad movie in a long time.
That's good.
There's one with Miley Cyrus. This is gonna sound really soft, but like whenever I was in high school, I remember watching it, and my mom was like tearing up, and I was kind of tearing up. I don't remember the last song. That's what it's called, right?
Never seen it.
Yeah, I know.
But see if your mom tears up, that's hard. Like if you see it,
you see your mom crying and you're
like, whoa. This is, yeah. I would always look just below the TV if we were watching something sad or scary, and I'm so people look over, they're like, yeah, you're looking, but I'm focusing literally on just the TV stand, and that's it.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
I count. I just keep counting until I go as high as I can go. That's
Even
what I
Toy
do.
Story's emotional.
It is like, see, that's the thing. There's story like movies like that. Whenever there's a moment of sadness or some type of redemption, or like I can't handle it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
crazy.
Or the kid does really well, do it like some motivational thing. I'm out. I'm like, I'm a mess.
Yeah.
So who would play you if there's a movie on Jaelon Acklin? Who's
Who would
going to
play
be the TV or the movie star?
Probably Ryan Gosling.
Oh,
Wow, good Canadian.
Is he a Canadian?
oh, come on.
Well, I'll be
One of our
damned. I didn't know
national
that. And I also, Leonardo DiCaprio wouldn't do a good me. No, yeah, Ryan Gosling would be the best.
But I know you're a Leo fan.
I am a huge Leo fan. The Revenant is my favorite movie.
Ooh.
I didn't cry in that one.
No.
But that's like a
But
I kind of got emotional whenever the kid died.
there's that. Also, the bear scene is a little bit.
Yeah. But that was more like, dang, like I can't
Yeah,
believe
but
he
see, you
killed
don't
that
have.
bear.
That's what. But you didn't grow up. And now I say this. See, for us in Canada, bears are like. I'm always worried about bears.
Yeah, we didn't have bears.
But see, but you have other stuff.
yeah,
Right
we have
where
other
you're from.
stuff.
Where I'm like, I couldn't imagine living in a place where there's like snakes, spiders, like,
Tornadoes all the time.
I didn't even get beyond animals, tornadoes, floods.
Yeah, what was crazy, speaking of tornadoes, is like I was in Ottawa the first week and we had that one storm.
Yeah. That's like once in a. That's not normal.
But that wasn't even a storm, really. Like
Well, for us it is.
for Missouri, and I was like, we
Yeah,
lost
that's true,
power
man,
for
Missouri.
a week and a half.
Yeah.
I was like, people in Missouri would be going nuts if we lost power over a storm. I was, and was it a tornado here or no?
There was we had
No,
funnel cloud. Well, we
There
had
was
some
some
clouds that
technical,
were like.
I can't remember what the name of it
It's
was.
funny because you're right. We're a little bit on edge when people are like, "Oh, a
you
tornado
guys are
touched
on
down."
edge about tornadoes.
Now we did have a tornado in 2019, right? I believe.
Went through the city.
Yeah,
It went through the
It was
city?
pretty bad.
Yeah, there was a
What?
lot of destruction.
A lot of
Yeah.
destruction. But see, that's
Dang.
abnormal for us. But we do I get a lot of videos whenever there was a tornado, and you look up and it's like, yeah, it kind of looks like a funnel cloud, but nothing like.
Yeah,
Down
like
south that
we
you
go
guys are-
through like
Yeah.
we probably have 25 tornadoes a
crazy.
year.
So
Tornado
like,
warnings at least.
does that see? I grew up terrified of tornadoes.
Yeah.
Because I would see it in movies, like I saw Twister, right, and that kind of burnt. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so then whenever there was a thunderstorm, I always was scared there was going to be a tornado. But you actually were around tornadoes, so
I was still scared.
you were still scared. That's
I
what I'm
was still
saying.
scared.
You're not
It's
like
kinda
no big
probably
deal.
like
just
you
go to
with
the-
bears, really. Honestly, like I also watched Twister whenever I was little. I remember my dad was watching it, and I was watching it, and also even what's that old movie where the girl gets swept up in a tornado?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Yes, that was one of my favorite movies of all time
that's-
as a kid.
That was scary too.
And
No,
yeah,
I'm
I
with
don't
you.
know if it was the witch that I was scared of or the tornado or what, but I remember being in 3rd grade and there's a tornado warning at school, and I was like, I just had a meltdown, like was
Yeah.
crying, and all the
Scary
kids were like
stuff.
looking at me and like making fun of me, and I was like, I don't know, I never liked tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see this.
Well, they're scary. I mean, storms are. Mother Nature is terrifying, and this year I'm learning more and more. Like and snowstorms. Have you been part of like
Yeah.
a really bad
No.
See, I was
winter
gonna ask.
storm?
Hamilton doesn't really get them.
They don't
so
really get them, right? Yeah.
I'm curious if
yeah.
you haven't really experienced the Canadian winter.
No, I'll be back home on the Gulf of Mexico whenever you guys are dealing with that.
Yeah. So you won't even.
Hopefully not, unless Berkey flies me back up here for something.
You should come up whenever there's a storm. You should come up
just
and
come
just.
up- come
I
up for
just
the
want to
winter storm?
experience it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah.
So you've never been on like a skidoo or a snowmobile?
Yeah, snowmobile is I would say. Nope, never been on one.
Really? But are you an adrenaline junkie?
I am an adrenaline junkie. I'm afraid I'd hurt myself if I was on one, honestly.
That's fair.
But snow is soft. That's.
Yeah, but falling from
Ice
20
isn't.
feet.
Ice isn't, but also when you go on 100 kilometers an hour,
Yeah.
things that you think are soft. I mean,
fast-
water's soft too.
How
but
fast
you
do
hit
they
it-
go, honestly?
Oh, 100 miles?
Yeah,
I think,
Like they're easily
Sometimes you go 100.
yeah,
There's
they,
some you can-
they
yeah.
fly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't touch them. Like
No seatbelt, no nothing.
it's
No.
they're scary, but I mean they're fun. Like if you're responsible,
Yeah.
But if you
But
if
we
you,
covered that early on.
Yeah, early on you're talking about if you had a car later on, you would have So who knows?
Theme parks? Do you do theme parks?
No. you know, like with roller coasters and stuff, I'm not in control, so I don't like that. There's just something about me not being in control that I don't.
But see, that's the weird thing about adrenaline junkies is like you're riding the line of you're kind of in control, but kind of not. Like,
Yeah.
I look at some things, I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like wingsuit flying, okay? They always talk about they're in control. And I know there was a debate when I was in the locker room about would you do it? And I'm like, they look like they're in control until you see the video of the guy standing on the cliff when they just come flying by and they're like feet from trees. And I'm like, it doesn't look like you're in control.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
See, I don't think I'd like the windsuit or parachuting, like nothing like that.
Nothing with that things can get tangled?
Because I'm almost not in control. Because like you're not in control of the parachute not pulling out.
Well,
you
and
know?
who packed it? Like,
Yeah.
do you have to pack
Like,
it? Is it someone
if
else?
I packed it,
I got a lot of
maybe.
questions.
There's a lot of questions. So yeah, I would say if I'm not 100% in control of the situation, I do not want any part of it.
So then, what are you in control? Like, what's something
Cars.
that you can get adrenaline out of?
So are you
that you're
speed
in
guy?
control?
Yeah, like paintballing or like, I could honestly, if I didn't play football, I would try to went special forces or something.
Okay, yeah.
That's like
yeah.
that's like stuff I would love.
But I feel like that's even so much more is out of your control. Maybe
kind
not.
of, but
I
I'm
don't
in
know.
control like if I quit or not,
Okay.
and
I get
that,
Yeah.
or like
That makes sense.
not really. You're not in control of like if you get if something bad happens,
Yeah.
really per se. But
I
like
guess, yeah.
it's just like mentally, I'm just seeing how far I can go in that.
So here's one for you. In 2015, we were obviously we both know the team meeting rooms that we're in, right? So the main one that the whole team is in, we had an affiliation with some military guys in 2015, and so they put together a special forces thing where they provided a day for the players to go out, do a bunch of different drills and whatnot, whatever.
Yeah.
But the intro was they swarmed the meeting room without anyone knowing. So there's all those doors, right? When you lift up the screens,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
doors
yeah.
behind there. There's doors into the receiver meeting room. Like every possible door, all of a sudden in the middle of the meeting, all these special forces guys all done up and all their stuff and their guns.
They had their guns.
Oh, they had everything. Came flying in and like it was just crazy. Anyways, it was the intro to like get guys pumped up. Like, hey, come on out and
Do you
do
think
stuff,
someone
you know?
was getting arrested?
Man, it was like, and you know, sometimes you go into that meeting and you're kind of like you're just getting into it.
You got your cup of coffee.
You got your coffee. Some guys got seeds and everything is like when you're sitting down, you're like trying not to spill. Man, it was mayhem. But
funny.
anyways, it was pretty cool. Yeah. So that alone made me be like, yeah, that'd be cool to kind of get into some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've always been to that.
Yeah.
Which player was first under the table?
Myself. Like I was not ready for that. Yeah. I was, you know. So, and we up here in Canada, I don't play with guns really. So I was even just seeing a gun in the room. It's like, whoa, that's serious stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they threw flashbangs and stuff too. That's the other thing. Is crazy.
Smokes.
So what does Jaelon Acklin do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I play video games. I would say that is my.
What's the
Like
hot
Call
game
of
right
Duty,
now? Yeah.
Fortnite.
No, I'm more of a like a hardcore. I have a laptop, and I did have a PC, but I move around too much, so I just got a laptop, and I play this game called Escape from Tarkov, and I play that with my old buddy at Hamilton, Malik Irons. He's now with the Edmonton Elks. But yeah, I really just play. I play games with Malik. He's probably my best bud. But that's really it, and I'm trying to think of something else I could give you.
You don't fish?
Like, do you go out downtown?
Nah, not
Do
really.
you walk
no.
around with all the stuff to see and do in Ottawa? Have you been to a museum? What would you like to, like, what's your hobby other than video games?
My absolute favorite. What would you say?
So do you meditate?
Do I meditate? No. I really, whenever I tell you, my absolute favorite thing to do is like score touchdowns. That is my number one thing in life. I swear to God.
It's a good hobby to have.
Like, and then number two is like performing for people. It's like I like performing in front of people. Like I like the fan. That's what I look forward to most. But like in the off season, I really just play video games. I might stream every once in a while. It'd be nice to like have a girlfriend maybe and like just like get my back rubbed or something. That'd be sick.
You tried.
Throwing it out there.
You were about to do a reality TV show.
Oh yeah, I said okay, yeah, but I did say no. So I just want to make the record straight. So if like girls think I'm looking for attention, I'm not. You know. but yeah, I was going to do it. I did. I was like, yeah, I'd be down. And then, you know, the season started, so then I had to turn him down. And then I actually had another one right before I came up to Ottawa. It was Bachelor in Paradise, Canada.
Oh,
Remember
wow.
that? And I was like,
I could have been watching you on Bachelor in Paradise.
Canada.
That would have been crazy.
Bachelor in Paradise, Canada. Yeah.
Same, but
I didn't
just
even
a
know
little
that.
bit.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I was
yeah.
like, I thought it, but yeah, one of the producers contacted me, and I was like, sorry, I'm gonna be in Ottawa.
There's less drama on the Canadian version. I watched.
Is it really? If there's less drama, I would be more down, more down to do it. But
so were you weren't? Were you supposed to be the lead, or were you supposed to be a contestant on the show? The first show you were supposed to
the first
go
one
on?
was like it was 4 guys and 4 girls.
Oh wow.
Or maybe it's 8 guys and 8 girls. It was the same number.
That's not what it's called, right?
It was called like Leap of Love or something like that. It was something like that, and it was in like a castle. Yeah, it was in like a castle and like no phones, no nothing for a month.
Yeah, that's tough.
And it's like ballroom dancing, which like I took ballroom dancing though. It's like I know a little bit.
As a college course?
Yeah, and I can sweet talk a little bit, so I think I would have been good. Yeah,
you would have been good.
Yeah, and but I'm pretty like real, so it would either be hit or miss, you know.
No, I think that would help because if you
help?
speak your mind and you are who you are,
I would just be like, yo, that girl sucked.
Yeah, you would get a lot of interviews.
Like,
you get a lot of
not cool.
on time.
Like all these girls suck. Like, can you guys get me out of here? Like,
do you watch reality? Like, do you watch The Bachelor?
No, I never have watched. I've never watched anything really. Like, but I've never like. I feel like a lot of guys who do that with their wives or like girlfriends, which is a good. I think it's a good thing.
Why'd you point at me?
I see you and the missus pulling popcorn, watching Bachelor.
Yeah, like that's cool. Like I wish I had that. I just don't. You know.
Cheap
So it's
drama.
like, yeah,
you can do it. You can do it on your own. Just.
Yeah, but then it's.
You know what? You need someone though to
like
bounce
say I'm
off.
talking to a girl and she's like, "What do you watch?" I'm like, "The Bachelorette." Like, what is she gonna say?
Yeah, like if you told me.
It's gonna be hit or miss.
Yeah, that would be.
You're taking a huge gamble. But if I say playing video games, she's just like, "Oh, typical." You know.
That's true. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's expected. It's but it could go either way. Either she could be that would be great, and then now you've got someone, or it's just a hard.
You gotta roll the dice.
Yeah, it's a hard pass.
Yeah.
So when you checked off the box for ballroom dancing as a course, what were you hoping further on in your career to be doing?
I was just trying to get a credit out of the way. I was just trying to keep playing football with the credit hours at that point.
What was it like? What was the choices between? Like, was there? Because I know there's jokes about guys taking like basket weaving and.
Oh yeah, so you could
generic
take
courses.
And this class wasn't just ballroom dancing. It was like life skills, which incorporated like etiquette and stuff like that into it. And ballroom dancing was one of the. So I liked that. I liked like whenever you walk with the girl on the sidewalk, you're supposed to be the one. And I'm from Missouri. I was never taught any of this, like where your silverware goes. Yeah. Or like whenever you go to a restaurant.
I don't even know that.
You don't even know that?
No.
Well,
Left?
I could tell.
I think it's on the left because I always remember whenever you sit down, you're like, I'm right-handed. Therefore, like, I don't know who keeps putting it over on the left.
But yeah, so that was good for me. I want to say the other ones was like physical education or like PE, something like that in college, and then there was actually, I'm pretty sure there was a paintball course or something like that, which I would have taken.
Yeah, you would have loved that.
But I do so much football stuff. It was like
it's hard to do actives courses.
Yeah, it was, or maybe it was shooting. It was shooting, I think, like something to do with guns and stuff.
Oh, not bow and arrow.
Not bow and arrow.
Yeah, okay.
No, not the bow and arrow.
I took swimming and I found that hard.
Oh yeah, swimming? No,
yeah, because you have to like.
That's a tough class.
You got to go, and I didn't pass the swim test to be in the deep end. Mm-hmm. So it was me and another football guy. We both failed. But I kept saying like, I'm sore, man.
You have big hands and you have long arms.
I know, but I couldn't.
Just so you know, he was named the top Canadian football player in university.
So that's why I was always sore.
No, I'm not taking that as an excuse. How? How did
Well,
you
I'm not
fail
webbed.
the swimming?
You know, like guys that have
You have
web-
big hands though. Like
I know, but I got small shoulders. I feel like swimming is
you literally look exactly like Michael Phelps.
long arms.
You look exact physical build.
I'll take
everything.
that. Yeah, I'll take that. Good-looking guy, athletic. But it was hard. I also I'm heavy boned, so I sunk. Which
Heavy
I'm not listening to this anymore,
but
Brad. That's not a term.
No, that's
Brad
a thing.
just made that
Yeah,
up.
and I had a lot of muscle too, right? Muscles.
Your
you
bone
sink with
density
muscle.
was just like super.
Super heavy. Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's what I tell
took
myself.
physical education in university for a year, and swimming was a course, and we're doing the tests. I halfway through the breaststroke, I just got out of the pool.
Oh, so
like, I can't
you're
do
ragging on me. You can't even make it.
The breaststroke is miserable.
I find
that
the
is-
butterfly, man, is the butterfly.
You think
is
the
hardest.
butterfly's the worst?
Have you tried the
I
butterfly?
think the breaststroke's the worst.
The breaststroke
The butterfly
is
is the one where you just do that, right?
Yeah, but that's hard to get out of the water. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta have the shoulder strength. The breaststroke to me is like, I'm just cruising. Like, that's the safety spot.
I descended into the doggy paddle by the end of it, I think, and then just
That's
got
pretty
out.
much, it's like
I just do
roll on your back.
Backstrokes.
backstrokes.
I
Oh,
can
yeah.
do
Naturally
that all
float.
day.
Yeah, that's,
That's what I do in the ocean. Like whenever I swim, I just do backstrokes.
So I'm gonna move on from swimming. That is when your agent called to say Canadian Football League is interested. What was your reaction?
I was happy. You know, I watched the CFL growing up because in the summer, obviously, we're off as kids, and so you want to watch football, or at least I did. And so I would see the CFL on, you know, every once in a while. I'd be like, oh, that'd always be cool to play in. And my roommate in college, I was always talking to him, being like, wouldn't it be crazy if we went to like CFL and just like lived? Because like you think whenever you're in the States, like Canada is like woodsy, like you're gonna live in a cabin. And I was like, bro, we just live in a cabin playing the CFL. And I get up here and it's nothing like that.
oh, they
It's
have
not
cities.
just all open woods. I was like, well, they have skyscrapers. Like, yeah. But yeah, so I was excited. I always thought that I could play in it. I don't know if anyone else really did, but I definitely did. So yeah, I was excited, and I went up for a game. I watched Hamilton play Montreal. It's Johnny Manziel's last game in the CFL. Got to watch that. And yeah, then I watched Hamilton play Ottawa on ESPN2, I believe, and it seemed like it was really cold.
East Final, was it?
Yeah, it was here.
2017? Well,
18.
it was here for a few years in a row. You're not in Hamilton
it's a
anymore, so we can
bragger,
take the shot, but it was...
Yeah. You guys won the East Final like 2000. You've been to it 2016, 17.
I think 17 was the only playoff game here that we lost, I believe. But every other one was against Hamilton. Here.
Hamilton? Oh, really?
Crazy, I know. Ask Jeremiah, man. He was
That actually-
played against them.
Bro, that one in
year.
2016 was wild, though.
Yes, and I believe, I was going to say, too, going back to Luke Taster, I think it was 2016, and you can ask Jeremiah about it. To me, one of the greatest catches that I've ever seen in person. Because sometimes as on the sidelines, you have that perfect angle of behind the quarterback, you see the route and the ball, and it's, just perfect. But he was running a corner route. And I remember on the sidelines, Jeremiah threw the ball in like the perfect spot. It was cold. And at first I was like, it was a key point in the game too, like to get within a score. And I remember thinking like, it's just outside. He threw it a little flat. And then all of a sudden Luke just bends at the last second. He catches it like a foot off the turf and just slides in. It was one of the greatest, just as a receiver, it's like the perfect thing. It's the perfect spot, came under. Anyways, I asked him in training camp. He said that was one of the best plays for him too. So
Yeah, Luke was nasty.
Yeah, Luke was.
He was nasty.
Especially in that cold weather. But so do you have experience? What's your experience in playing as an American in cold, like snow games, sleet?
I played in a snow game against South Dakota State, got absolutely twerk teamed, like got clapped by these guys. I think we lost 69-12. Wow. That was my freshman year in college though. But yeah, I didn't play in a snow game until last year against Toronto. And the East Final, I think, was a snow game. A little bit of snow. That's cold, but like whenever it gets cold, I'm not out there messing around like with no sleeves. Like I'm out there in a
I was going to ask you, so how do you
I got a
dress?
turtleneck, long sleeve. Like I'm out there, I'm staying warm.
And sleeves, right? You
Yeah,
do play
I
sleeves?
play
So
sleeves.
but do you find a difference like going from no sleeves to sleeves? Like as a
No.
receiver, you don't feel uncomfortable under...
No,
Really?
no. If I don't wear sleeves, I actually play bad because I don't want to get hit. But like if I have sleeves on, I don't care to get hit because it doesn't hurt that bad.
I've never heard that before, actually.
But I've tried it 2 times. I've tried it 3 times. I tried it once in Edmonton. Oh, dude, it was so cold. And I was just out there like, I'm not really like soft either. I don't like to think that I am. But I was out there like just touching people because I did not want to get hit in the arms.
It hurts when it's cold. Everything is hard.
I guess I gotta do something. Take some Advil before the game. I don't know, but I was out there just like feeling people, and I was watching myself on film. You know, when you were watching yourself on film, you're like, dude, what was I doing? And so
I felt like minus 30. That's.
And then I started playing with sleeves whenever it got really cold, and I noticed that I played like a lot more. Not afraid to get hurt or like afraid of anything.
Well, you can try a couple things. You can test it out as the season goes on.
Yeah.
You can a couple tricks was number one, the doctor gloves underneath your gloves, which I don't recommend because they're latex, so nothing gets through. So once they're good in the beginning, and then you start sweating because your hands are warm, but then the sweat turns to freezing cold. So it goes from like you're cool to all of a sudden can't move your hands. So I wouldn't try that. The second thing, though, is rubbing Vaseline and the heat rub together and putting it all down like your core, in your armpits, down your legs.
I never heard of that. I've heard of putting it on your arms.
That's an old trick that I learned from guys in Calgary.
Okay.
You just got to be careful of where you put it. Because if it runs down, sometimes you can run into a little hot mess in the game, right? Yeah. But you should try. Yeah, it's on the arms is the Vaseline doesn't.
That's what I was thinking. It's
it gets slippery.
Like, if you don't wear sleeves and it's -30, you look so badass. Like
you
on
do.
TV.
You do.
That's why I want to do it. Is because I want to look badass, but then am I willing to be badass? You know, just like I'm about to just put sleeves on and then just thug it out like that.
But then there's a moment in the game where you're like, usually it's halftime when you go back in.
Yeah,
and you feel warm,
and you're like, man, I'm kind of hot.
Like this.
Yeah.
Do you like playing in the snow?
With my friends, yeah, not out there, no. Not against like grown men that are getting paid to like kill you, no. I'd much rather play in a dome or good weather.
That's fair. Do you have superstitions or like a game day routine that you like to do?
Nah, I really just wake up like I'm about to fight somebody is what I would say. That's how I wake up.
And you keep that all day? Like you have
but I don't emotionally like.
Yeah, but you.
But like I'm like, okay, like I got to do 72 plays of me trying to kill this guy, and I'm gonna let him know about it. That's how I wake up.
So then, but after games, how do you wind down? Because like it is mentally to stay like that through a season.
Yeah.
And you're getting a lot of targets, right? Like I find when all the workload increases, and then not to say that pressure does, but I think, it naturally does because you want to maintain that level you're playing at. But like, it's hard to be at that level mentally through the whole season. So
it is.
Do you do anything to kind of like just come down from it each game, or?
Yeah, I just play video games. Like video games brings me down.
Yeah.
Like I'm just in there. I'm so dog shit at video games. It's like.
Really? Yeah. But you're a PC. You said you're a computer gamer. Usually those guys are like.
I'm hard. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm going against all these hardcore dudes like Ninja and like all these guys who are really good. Yeah. But I'm just out there like just to chill because I get paid to like score touchdowns. I don't get paid to do that. Right. But that's just like my chill space. So yeah, I usually go back and I'll literally go play. Like if we got a game at 5, I'll play video games or something. Yeah.
I found that with Fortnite. That was I'm not a gamer either, but I played Fortnite just to like, all right, you're with the boys, you're online, right?
Yeah.
You're winding down after a practice or whatever, and you're just
those are the best of times, the Fortnite times.
Yeah. However, if you were good, so I found sometimes if you're with a group of guys that, there's like the serious crew that's like checking where you're at and why you're off doing your own thing.
Oh, yeah,
and like back me up.
The comms are like off the charts. Yeah.
I wasn't like that. It almost like made it worse sometimes because I felt so much pressure to do the right thing, and I'm like, I'm not good at shooting and doing all this stuff. I just want to be part of the game, and then next thing you know, you're kicked out of the group. And,
And then you're like, you put your controller down.
It's hard.
I'm not one of those guys that takes it super. I don't like playing with people who take it super seriously. Malik is sometimes like that, and I'll be like, dude, you got to chill out. But yeah. So and then I play FIFA a little bit too. Yeah. Like that's more of a chill game.
Yeah.
That's just one. I just play like career modes and stuff.
Yeah. So then I want to ask you too, like, is there a moment in your football career, whether it's a play or moment that, I don't want to say it's an embarrassing play or you didn't make the play, that like not to say it sticks with you, but I have a couple plays that if people bring it up or like I look back, it's
Okay, wait. Give us one before he answers.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'll
wanna-
give
I
it
wanna
to
hear
you.
one.
So 2015.
Okay.
I ran a little flat route behind the line of scrimmage, and this is a design play where I catch the ball. It was second and like 20 something, second and extra long.
Mm-hmm.
And the play was that I just tap it forward about a yard or two over the line of scrimmage, and technically it's a punt, right? So I tap it forward, everything's backed off, and then I recover it, and that's a first down, right? So it's no different if a punter shanks a punt, as long as it crosses the line of
Oh,
scrimmage
yeah.
and you recover it, it's a new set of downs, right? So that was the plan. We practiced it. I was really nervous because I thought in my head, this can go two ways. Either this is a really cool play that no one's ever seen, or it's like, what is this guy doing, right? So obviously, naturally, didn't go my way. I kicked it like in a game, adrenaline.
Oh yeah, you're gonna kick it.
And I'm not a kicker, so like I tried
Yeah.
to be soft and I just like hoofed it. It went like 8 to 10 yards. They recovered it. We were in our own end. And so it was a big swing. But of course, everyone's looking at me like, what is Sinopoli doing? What a dumb play. You know, and you
Yeah.
can't sit there and be like, it's a design, you know, all these things. Anyway, so that was one where I just look back, I'm like, if I only had just a little bit more, you know, it's not as embarrassing, but anyways, that's one of them. I don't
Never-
want to
yeah,
I don't want to
that-
talk about the other ones.
We never ran that play again, eh? I'm guessing.
No. It was a cool concept,
That is a cool. It'd be very hard to execute though.
especially when you're not I'm not a kicker.
But even that they trusted you to do that, like you should be kind of.
I would say we convinced them more too.
Oh, you convinced
Yeah,
them,
it was
and then
hard.
you did that, and then it was like, Brad.
Yeah,
what?
exactly. Yeah, like we've practiced it a lot. Trust me. And then in the game, they're like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just how it happens sometimes. Well, there was one my freshman year in high school. So a little history lesson. I'm from Mountain View, Missouri, which we sucked at football. Like we were gonna cut our football program, and then my dad took over the program whenever I was little. And so this was our first time like in the playoffs, and we were about to actually go to the semifinals. So this was like a huge game. And
How many people at this game, by the way? Because football in the U.S. is so big. Like,
oh yeah, so I graduated with 325 kids. So this is a small school, or graduated with 75 kids. Yeah. There's 325 kids, 9 through 12. But there was about, I'd say around 3,500.
And just
But it
people
was
from the
packed,
town,
dude.
right?
Yeah,
we're
just
around.
like the whole town shuts
yeah.
down.
so good.
And so it was sick, but they threw a Hail Mary, the other team did, and like I was playing safety at the time, and the ball was coming right to me, and I was just sitting there just like this. I didn't jump, and a linebacker from my team comes up like right in front of me and sticks his hand. I swear to God, the ball was like right here. Sticks his hand up, tips it, it goes over, and then the guy catches it behind me for their team, and then they win. And then we never make it back to that throughout my high school career. So that kind of stuck with me. But that made me better because like it
Right.
always made me like want to be better.
Yes.
And then I would say last year's Grey Cup at the last of the game, Masoli threw me an out, and the guy like kind of tipped it, and it hit me like right in the chest. But you know, nowadays it's like if you mess up on a play, it's more like Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
So like I had death threats. I had people, you know, saying that I let everyone down, but it was like, you know, I didn't want to do that.
Of course. Yeah.
Like I want to win the Grey Cup. Like
Yeah.
even though I'm in Ottawa, like I want to win it for Hamilton. You know, it'd been so long, and you know, I go to work every day. I go to work hurt. I go to work. You know, there's days I don't want to. You don't want to go to practice. Like you're like, why am I doing this? Like your head hurts. You know, so it's just like it sucked at first, but then you got to I had to look myself in the mirror and be like, that's why I'm doing this, because like it's all pressure, and pressure is really a privilege if you look at it. You know, so I get another opportunity with Ottawa, and if I get that opportunity again, that won't happen.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was going to ask you too, like, how do you, you know, the next day, obviously you can't avoid watching it in the film room, but I always, like, I couldn't wait the next day. I had to watch it on the plane to like settle myself.
I have to do the same thing.
You know, like just to see it and then go through the emotional roller coaster of letting people down or letting yourself down, teammates or whatever.
Yeah.
And then flushing that feeling of like, usually after game, it's like, I want to go back out now. Like, I don't want a day off. I don't want to hide from it. Like, I want to go redeem now. But I found that I had to watch it right away. Some guys I know like just I need a day. I want to watch it when we go in the film room, but like you're saying you have to see it right away, come to terms with it, and then.
Yeah, even like the Winnipeg game, that post I dropped, I was like, how did I drop that? I even went up to Josh during the game. I was like, I don't know how I did that. Please tell me you didn't get it. And he didn't get it. He actually didn't film it. He didn't film it.
Great.
So I was like, thank God. But anyway, so once we lost and I got back on the plane and I watched it and I was like, all right, I'm never watching it again.
Yeah.
You know,
I just watch it once. Yeah.
I was over it. I was like, you know, I get another day. And like, you know, kind of bouncing off that is like, everyone in life has those situations.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're not all gonna have people on Twitter and Instagram, but there's not to say that mine's more important than anyone else's problems or something like that. So it's like all the same, and you got to kind of look at it as like, well, you're not dead. So I've always thought like if you're not dead, then you can't quit. Like that's the only really way you can be defeated is like if you quit or you die. Mm-hmm. So that's how you kind of have to look at it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So my dad was a math guy. He always give it in probability to me, where it's like the more you do something, the more chance that you're going to mess up.
Yeah,
right. So
exactly.
The more as you grow as a receiver and player, and you have more plays, like the best players that I've ever played have horrible plays. Mm-hmm. We just don't focus on it. But in the moment, it can seem like but like you said, it's almost like a big growing.
Yeah, if you let it. I've had some people, like even some of my friends have had like bad things happen to them, and then it's just like they go down this like other path of like feeling sorry for themselves. Yeah. And it's like you can't really. You got to either grow out of that, or you got to look at it the other way. Yeah. You know, you can't just like blame other people all the time for.
Yeah. Well,
like,
especially in a team sport.
Yeah,
right? It's like
I take like all that stuff's on me. You know, I don't care.
Yeah.
I can take it.
See, that's the quarterback in him talking. Back in his high school days, I'll take it all.
But also, if I'm gonna talk that much, like I gotta, like
Yeah,
that's all on me.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
then,
care.
what is your favorite play this season?
Favorite play this season? Honestly, probably in my last catch in the Toronto game, I caught like a slant with two dudes on me, and they tried to tackle me, and I just like kept going. It was like, it was relieving because we had a chance to like kind of put the game away, and then Nate scored that touchdown. Yep. And like if I don't catch that, then Nate doesn't score the touchdown. So I think that's my favorite play so far. Mm-hmm. And you know, I was kind of able to break tackle. I think I made like only 20 yards, but it was just like, I looked at Lapa, I was like, give me that thing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like they're not going to tackle me. And then I started talking trash to Toronto's sideline. But like, that's probably my favorite play so far.
You've talked in the past about wanting to win for Ottawa. So you're an American, you've played in Hamilton, now you're in Ottawa for your first year. How invested are you in the city to try and win?
Yeah, I'm really invested. You know, ever since I've been here, Ottawa's been good to me, and they're the ones who gave me a chance. So I feel like if they believe in me, then I should do everything I can for them to be able to trust me to make those plays. You know, I mean, they're paying me whatever it is to make plays. I got to go out and make them. So I don't want to let anyone down. I don't want to let Berkey down. I don't want to let Josh, the camera guy, down. I don't want to let, you know, Billy and Susie up in the stands down. I don't want to let anyone who wears the Ottawa R down. And so that's just kind of how I've always been. Whatever team I'm playing for, I don't want to let anyone down. It's mostly not me. It's mostly like my teammates and the city.
And what's it like to play in that building? It's a great atmosphere.
No, it's sick. It's awesome. And even when I was in Hamilton, I was always like, damn, like Ottawa's a sick spot. Like if they were like winning constantly, which I wasn't here in 2018 or like any of those years they were, this place would be so sweet. But yeah, even though we haven't been fortunate enough to get wins here, the place is still like it's damn near sold out. Like so yeah, it just a testament to the Ottawa people for coming.
So what does that win against Toronto do for this team?
I think it definitely gets a weight off of our shoulders. We kind of went through this phase where like, well, we can put ourselves in position to win, but can we win? Like, it's kind of a hopeless feeling because you feel like no matter what you do, you just can't find a way to win. And I don't know if you've ever been on a team like that, but it's just like you just struggle finding ways to win. So it's nice that we did that against Toronto, but we have to find a way to consistently keep making those plays at the end to be able to win these games and not be almost winning them.
I heard you have a pregame meal that may seem unorthodox to other people.
Yes.
What do you like to devour before games?
I like pancakes. Pancakes. Okay, not just like
plain? Just
yes, plain pancakes with maple syrup and butter. But I don't like eating the same pancakes every time. Like some people are big on I got to go to the same place. I'm not like that's not my personality at all. I always like to go to different breakfast spots, and I can't even name you the ones all the ones I've been to because a lot of them I live in Gatineau, so a lot of them are in French. And so, like, I don't really know. But
this is a lot for you, to come from Missouri.
I know, I'm just in Gatineau. I'm like, bonjour.
pretty good. Little accent, but that's good.
Yeah, I got a little accent to me. But I've been talking to this French girl, and she's been teaching me a lot. So hopefully I'm to the point, like, next year I can just talk to the French media guys. You know, they'd love that. But, yeah, my favorite spot in Ottawa so far is Flapjacks, I want to say. That is my favorite spot. But I'm not done yet.
Lots to explore.
Lots to explore.
Yeah.
There's also another runner-up that not a lot of people know about. It's a diner, and it's on Bank Street, and it starts with a B. I would butcher the name right now, or I'd say it. Bramisol Diner?
Yes, the Bramisol.
And it's like a blue-collar, very
like it's a
blue-collar.
diner.
Like it's an old-school diner. You got to go there sometime.
Where is this?
You might have been there. It's on Bank Street.
Okay, but Bank is not 2 blocks.
All I know is I turn off on the right from
yeah,
Gatineau or whatever, and it's right there.
Yeah.
I was just crossing it one day.
Well, just like it's our first show, but we have a huge budget, so I went out and made sure that we got you a gift for coming on the show.
Oh wow!
It was on sale. Anyway, it's some maple syrup for you to enjoy with your pancakes.
Jakeman's.
Yeah, Jake, that's good.
Pure maple syrup.
Yeah.
And what's the, was it amber?
Wow,
I don't know. It was in the
Is this
clearance bin.
glass?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's glass. It's recyclable.
No, we don't have that in the States. Everything's in
Recycling?
plastic.
Yeah, well, we spared no expense.
Wow, that's sick. Can I smell it?
You can,
Taste it, man.
It's yours
Yeah.
to
No,
enjoy.
a little sip.
I can't taste it.
But if you win, like in the next year, we want credit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mapley. You know, too, you
that
could
smells like
see,
actual like. Yeah, that's some.
There's so many good things you can do with maple syrup too. Like you should come up. Number one, to tap some trees, get your own maple syrup. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I get. You got to boil it and all that stuff. You know.
Wait, what? You get your own syrup?
No, I don't. I've always wanted to, but it's a lot of work. You just
Yeah.
gotta, you know.
I'd much rather.
You got to tap a tree and then it flows. The amount of stuff you got to get out of the tree though, because when you boil it down, it's insane. Anyways, but then you could also roll that in the snow, and it hardens, and you have maple candy.
What?
So you just harden some snow down,
That's the most Canadian.
pour
thing I've
maple
ever heard
syrup,
in my
get
life.
a wooden stick or a tree branch, whatever you want, you know, and then you just roll it.
A new segment, Canadiana with Brad Sinopoli.
I'm just you know, for when it gets
then you'll
cold.
make
Like if there's a
snowman.
snowstorm, try it out in November.
Yeah. This guy knows everything, huh?
I was going to close it out with this little thing, and now we're into tapping trees.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Throw it out
Jaylen,
there.
we appreciate you stopping by. We thank you. We wish you all the best the rest of the year. So thanks for being guest number 1 on the show.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Appreciate you guys
We had a
having
good
me.
time. Hopefully you did too.
Always appreciate you, Brad.
Thank you.
Even though I'm just
We go way back in training camp.
I'm a better looking, more athletic version of Brad Sinopoli.
I heard
and
that.
American.
And faster. And yeah, more hair. I
Just
get it.
not as many catches.
Not yet. You will.
He said more hair.